Hi everyone, this is Aaron with Crypto Trends. Today is July 10th, 2018. First off, this is not financial advice, just my opinion. So moving on, exciting times ahead. And this is going to be a remote viewing update. And we're going to be taking a look at VEN, the Key, Neo, and some other things that's going on. Also, we're going to be covering what exchanges are going to be big in the future. So let's get to it. So first off, let me make sure that I am streaming. Go over here, and yes, I am. Looks really good. All right, so let's go to CoinMarketCap and see where we're at. Right now, we are at 251 billion. That's pretty much sucking wind, isn't it? And Bitcoin is at 109 billion with a dominance of 43.4%. And that has gone up. So that means that there is money going from the altcoins into Bitcoin. And lo and behold, yeah, that's what happens. But Bitcoin right now is currently down on the 7-day about 2%. 5% for the 24 hours. So that's, it's going down in pretty much everything. There's a sea of red that we're looking in here. And currently right now, I am like really bullish on the market and the future of the market. Not the market as a whole, but selected coins and stuff like that. Yeah, let's leave it at that. But for Bitcoin, I'm bullish. Long term on that. Okay, I don't mean like tomorrow or the next few months. I am bullish for Bitcoin and other things long term, and that's how I do this. So let's go look at Bitcoin right quick over on see where I left off before on TradingView, so we can take a look at see where we're at. So right now we had this this downward spike. Okay. And let me zoom in here. So we had this downward spike, and back on the 4th, I was thinking, okay, this thing's going to dump. Boom. And so I've been waiting on that, and it went up, so I was wrong there. But, gave it a little time, and it took a dump. Wham. And so I'm still expecting it to go down a little bit more, so we'll see. Okay, and so how did I come up with this to go down for this larger spike? Basically, if you've been following my channel, you would know about the box pattern that I've been talking about, or the Bart Simpson head that people refer to it. Anyway, I look at this as just being algorithms, computer programs that are doing this. And the way that you can look at this is not to use the standard technical analysis. Give it a try, do what you want. But I'm looking at it from a different point of view. Because what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing entry points like here. Okay, this is an entry point and it goes up to here. And I'm seeing this as a computer program. So this is the start of it. Oh, ESET Node 32 antivirus. Okay, ESET works good, by the way. Okay, back to this. So this to me is an entry point where it says, okay, well, let's start this program or this loop in computerese, okay? And it wants to finish basically at the same point. And so the finish was here. So this whole loop was completed, okay? And let me just kill that. So you understand that, and you can look at this in further detail, and it gets smaller and smaller. So you can look at a loop here. You can look at a start and an end, but they're really not matching up, because how I see it is that the money going in, the money going in wants to pretty much equate with the money that's coming out, give or take a little bit, because what they're doing is that they're scalping. They're trying to scalp. And build up Bitcoins with their investment, or they want to sell. But for the most part, as I see it long term, is that this is just one great big old accumulation area. And so right now we have accumulation here, and then we have accumulation here. and this is Wyckoff stuff. And so you can look at basically like a trading range where there's accumulation, whoops, you know, in these areas. And yes, accumulation is painful for all those who are not on the accumulation side of things. So right now, you know, I've been accumulating. That's for sure. And that's just me. You know, don't follow me, you know, what I do. This is not financial advice by any means. I'm just telling you my opinions and basically what I've been doing and where I think it's going. You know, that's all there is to it. Okay, maybe I should invest in good old TradingView to get rid of those things. TradingView is great, by the way, if you haven't used it. But anyway, you can see here why this bigger drop down. Well, that should be pretty obvious to you. We have an entry point right here, and so we should be expecting some type of drop coming down to get the money that was put in here out, right? So that's why I was thinking this big, huge candle. It went down a little bit to this level here. As you can see also is that you can look here and here as an entry into a short and then an exit out of the short as well. So there's different ways that you can look at it, but for me, that's what I've been doing, and it's been working pretty well. And let me get rid of this stuff here. A lot of good stuff here. And I've been, you know, it's been working okay for me and stuff like that. But why am I bullish? Why am I bullish on Bitcoin and stuff like that? Well, for Bitcoin, which is interesting, if we go back over here to CoinMarketCap, we are at 109 billion. And to my knowledge, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, the minimum asset size for an asset class to be traded in the futures market is 100 billion. So I'm seeing us as being very close to that low of 100 billion minimum for it to be allowed to be on you know, allowed for future trading. And that is definitely what they want to happen. They don't want this thing going down to like 89 or something like that. It needs to be at 100 or above. So you can take that information. Please go do the research and correct me if I'm wrong. I very well could be. But please do the research on that. So if it falls below 100 billion, will they be allowed to trade? And if they're not allowed to trade, wow. If it drops below, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to pump money in so that they can trade and make more money? Yeah, that's what I think. But anyway, so right now I'm seeing this level here on Bitcoin itself as being pretty close to the low. And that is about 6,300. And I know that people are calling for, you know, just terrible prices like 4,200, 43. And even on my chart here, let me get this auto thing off so I can scroll it up. Down here, it's like 46.21. I'm really not thinking that's going to happen. What that is just the, let me go here. This is on the 2-hour logarithmic. Let me go out here to the 1 day. It's a little bit easier to see. Put auto back on. Okay. So anyway, this is Bitcoin. This is the huge long-term trend, right? This white line here. And that's the return to mean. And these lines here are just some, you know, charting stuff. But if it goes all the way down, this would be like the absolute lowest that I would see. But if it hit that, I would see that for a very short period of time and then bounce way back up. So futures could still be engaged. Can it go down there? Sure. Can it go lower? Sure, you bet. Can it, you know, I mean, this thing can go up or down, or, you know, it's not going to go left, but it could go right in just a flat manner. And you guys get that. It can go up or down or sideways. But what I'm looking at is for medium-term growth medium to long-term growth is a nice gradual, like around between 10 to 25% increase over the long run. And keep in mind, this long run period of time here is like, I mean, it can go outward to 2 to 5 years, okay? I'm not looking at, oh, this is going to jump up here and, you know, etc. It could follow this line. Anyway, so my point of all this is that, yeah, we have like the bottom here, because things are different now because we have futures, and that's going to affect the bottom. I don't really see us coming down here. Also, another thing is that this is the golden egg, and they do not want to destroy or kill off the goose. And what do I mean by that? And who are they? Well, they are like the JP Morgans and the other factions out there that are opening up services that they can sell to the retail market. And that is where they're going to make the bank. They're not going to make it on Bitcoin. They're going to make it on the fees that they are going to charge their clients. And they, let's put it this way. If you're offering a new asset class, okay, you're offering a new asset class and you want people to be interested in actually getting into it, what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to let this thing just go flat? Flat is boring. They see that in the stock market pretty much, right? Or bonds. They see that. They don't want that. They want excitement out there for their people to come and buy. They want to entice them. Also, another thing that is really fascinating and interesting about Bitcoin is, and also with the heavy manipulation that you can obviously see here. I'm on the 45-minute now, so you can obviously see the bots from the high frequency trading stuff going on here, is that it takes a minimum amount of money to push the market up. It does not take a whole lot of stuff. And then what's also interesting is that when it gets pushed up, there's nothing happening here on the volume. The volume is basically non-existent. It is dead. And I'm just killing this line here. It's flatlined. It's dead. Nobody's buying. Nobody's selling. For the most part, it's mainly the bots that are doing their thing. And why is this good news? Why does that make me bullish? It sounds terrible, right? But I am bullish on this. It gets me excited because this means that they have basically taken control of the market, which is, sounds terrible, right? Oh my gosh, they are in control of the market. And okay, I'm getting really tired. I need to invest in TradingView of those pop-ups. So they're in control of the market. And you got to remember that, let me go back here to the day thing here, daytime. And keep in mind, I'm in logarithmic view. But, okay, there we go. But at this point here, when we had the huge down spike, that's when everything changed. So you can take all of your past data that you have from here going backwards of this line and throw it out the window. That's basically how I see it. This was the old Bitcoin market where we actually had some organic growth and stuff like that. And the time period here where it dropped big time, it got a lot of people out of the market. And here, okay, let's bump it up. Let's go ahead and get into this market. And these are the composite operators, the people that really want to control this market, okay? And the control is important for them because that makes the people in control, the big investments, the big investors that are going to profit from all of the customers with the trades and stuff. So I'm not necessarily saying that it's like JP Morgan or whatever, but there's like an invisible hand, let's say. An invisible hand at work in the market, and they've been getting control. And as we can see here with this last dump, a lot of people have been driven out of the market. There's a lot of malaise. There's a lot of disappointment. People are getting fed up, and they are just tired of all of this BS that's going on. And there's actually anger and blah, 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 blah going on. Okay, great. But they can't do anything about it. They're not buying and shooting this thing up. They're not excited about Bitcoin anymore. And so we have these huge candles that happen within minutes the huge spikes that are totally inorganic and are driven, and they can drive the market down at any time they want, and they can drive it up at any time they want, and that's because there is no liquidity left in the market, which means that they are in control, which means that they have successfully accomplished a goal, and now we can look for the ETFs, and the big money is ready to come into a tamed, safe market where it can be controlled and it becomes predictable, so they can feel confident about pumping in money and being able to extract it if needed. And that's how I see it. So there's no liquidity left in the market. Everyone that sold is pretty much sold already. The people that are still here are the ones that aren't going to sell, even if it goes down to $1,000. They are not going to do that, and that's because they see the long term. They have the long-term vision. Not just looking at the short-term investment potentials, but they have the vision of Bitcoin and what it can be in 5-10 years. And so that's exciting, and so that's what I'm doing, and that's what probably you're doing too. Is that's an assumption, of course, is that you're just holding, and you're not going to sell this stuff for the life of you. Holding on for dear life. Anyway, so this is exciting stuff, and this is a turning point in the market where they have actually finally, after many months, gained control. And also keep in mind that this huge increase going up like that was also manipulation. Okay, that too was manipulation. But nevertheless, here we are. They are in control, and that, it sounds terrible, but it is actually a good thing. So tell me your thoughts about that, on why it's a good thing. I've said it's a good thing because it gives them the confidence to actually go into the market heavy. Okay, that means the ETFs that are coming, we've heard about that, and other things. So we'll see. And that is a total guess. Don't bank on any of what I say, all of these arrows. Okay, as you can see here on this call right here, I was wrong. It came true a little bit further on, but hey, is that luck or what? Anyway, my point is, don't take any of this as advice, nor any advice from any YouTuber out there. If you want to get advice, go consult a CPA, a tax attorney, an investment, somebody that's familiar with it, with finances, that can help get your own finances squared away. That would be money well spent, in my opinion. Because if you're in this market, you shouldn't be relying on the ups and downs to pay your rent, and that's my opinion. Okay, you have better things to do than to basically gamble. But I'm in this for the long term, the 3 to 5 years plus. And that's just me. And I know that other people out there have different requirements, and you're in the market for different reasons. Whatever, that's cool. It's your call. Best of luck to you, really. Okay, so that is Bitcoin. That is Bitcoin sucking wind, taking a drop. Little bit of a break right here. Didn't drop. Can it break further all the way down? Sure. Can it go up? Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we know that. All right. Okay. So that's boring. On to something exciting. Very exciting. This is one of my favorites, and this is VeChain. Good old VeChain sucking wind. Down almost 7% today, and it's at 223. Oh my gosh, that is terrible. When I see VeChain dumping like this, I get very excited because I like VeChain at $5, and I liked it even more at $4, and I am loving it at $2. And if it goes to $1, I am a happy camper. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, the price is going down. How can you get really excited? And that's because when it goes down, I get excited because that's when I get in, and I dollar cost average down. I go ahead and I catch those falling knives, and it falls quicker. That is great. Go ahead and get some more. In my opinion, I absolutely really like this project, and that's me. Do your own research. Check out the Reddit. Read what they have to say. There's a lot of they have a really good Reddit and stuff, and everyone on there is pretty much great, really good spirits and so on, and a lot of them are believers in the project. In other words, they are looking more at the value of the coin than just the price, and that is really important, because we're looking at this thing and say, okay, the value, well, what is the value? To me, I look at value like, okay, well, what is this coin actually going to do? Can it really change the future of how business is done? Can it really bring about this blockchain revolution? And I think, in my opinion anyway, that VeChain is certainly heading that way. And here's some real recent news. They have here introducing Toshin as a partner pioneering new heights. Okay, let's go ahead and bring that up. Okay, and you can look at this yourself, of course. And it's a Medium article. Toshin, and it's a San Francisco-based tech company, and their mission is to make blockchain and crypto deeply integrated with society. Isn't that really cool? And so what are these guys going to be doing? They're going to be helping to bring on and develop new ICO and enterprise opportunities within the U.S. market as partners of the VeChain Foundation. Now, isn't that really cool? And so these guys are going to help bring the companies that want to go on to the VeChain platform. Yes, it's a platform. It's no longer only a supply chain management type of thing, okay? It is a platform. And so as I look at this article, I'm saying, okay, well, why is this coming about? And that's because, to me, VeChain is doesn't have the time to basically meet the requirements of all of the companies that want to get on to their platform. And so they have help, and that help is Toshin. And they are going to help all these companies get onto the VeChain platform. And so that is really cool, where they actually need to secure help to bring people on to their blockchain. And why is that really cool? Well, because the more they get onto the blockchain, the more real-world use cases are happening. Which means that enterprises, real-world businesses, let's put it this way. Excuse me, let me get some coffee here real quick. Much better. Okay, so they are having real-world companies get onto their blockchain, and they are going to be using them. They don't just let anyone get onto their blockchain. Okay, that's how they operate. They want companies that are actually going to use it get on their blockchain, which means the more companies that use their blockchain, the more Thor, that the little gas that VeChain has. It's going to, VeChain Thor, when they when they get their token swap done from VEN over to VET, which is, it's basically in process right now. But when they get that done, the companies are going to be needing Thor as the gas. And yeah, a lot of them are going to be able to generate the amount of Thor that they need, but there could be some shortfalls. And the more and more companies that get on board, the higher the demand will be. And so there's a real interesting write-up on this LinkedIn here that I highly suggest you go and read. And it says, here you go, a financial model to estimate your potential returns on VeChain. And this guy did a hats off to him. Real good write-up on basically the use cases and the amount of VThor That's the gas that it's going to be required per day, and like the percentage that you can expect per year, and you can think of that as kind of like a dividend, okay? But he has a real solid estimate of around 5%, which I like, and that's on his base case, and he has like a way out bullish case of about 10% return, which is like in line with traditional investments. And so it's not like way out there, it's like Lambo stuff, but it's like real, okay? And believe you me, if you can look at a 5% return, this is just on the gas, okay? This is just on the VThor, on the Thor, where it's like a dividend kind of type of thing that you can get. I mean, it's awesome. Check this out. He did a pretty good write-up. He went in depth about the numbers. It's fairly easy to follow if you have a financial background. If not, I'm sure you can ask a question on the VeChain Reddit, and if you're not familiar with the community there, VeChain community is like great. Yeah, sometimes you ask questions, they get a little bit, they might downvote you because they're tired of like questions all the time where they answer them 100 times, and 101 times is like, oh, come on, dude. Nevertheless, that happens sometimes, not all the time, but for the most part, very, very, I mean, it's a great community. It's fantastic. Check it out. Read their Reddit. Very informative. People there are very helpful. Okay. Anyway, so that is VeChain, and so you're going to get the VThor. His comments here are that there's going to be basically there's going to be more demand for it than supply, and so they're going to, the companies that are using VET or VeChain Thor for their platform operations will need to purchase more Thor for the gas to run their operations, and that very well could be the case. So we'll see, but this is a good write-up. Highly suggest you take a look at that, and it is one of the reasons why I'm very bullish on this. And having a 5% estimate might not seem like all that much, but in reality, compared to other things, it's a pretty good return. And you know what? It's reasonable. It is reasonable. It's a reasonable amount. They're not talking Lambos, and stuff like that. Far more serious community you'll find here than a lot of other projects out there. Okay, so that is VeChain. Also with VeChain is that, yeah, I mean, my gosh, I could have like 20 videos on VeChain, okay? 20 videos on VeChain. Check them out. That's, check them out. That's all I can say. Make your own decisions, all right? So that's very interesting, their Reddit. Let me kill that. And then here's that interesting thing on Toshint, where they actually need help. Another interesting thing about VeChain with their token swap is that they are going to have a 1-to-100 split. So if you have one VEN in the near future, you are going to get 100 VET. And say it's $1, so you have $1 now. They're basically switching it out for 100 pennies. Okay, so the price, all of a sudden you might see, oh, VEN is at $2.20, and all of a sudden you see it drop down to like 2 cents, and that's because it'll be VET instead of VEN. So that's what's going on there. Anyway, that is really, really cool, and that's another bullish thing. Think about that, having a top 20 currency with like the lowest cost per coin. People will see that and they'll say, oh, what do you think they're going to do when they see a top 20 coin that's the least expensive out there? In their mind, when they see it, they're going to see it being at 2-3 cents. Oh my gosh, this is cheap. What do you think is going to happen? Interesting. Give me your thoughts on that. And yeah, if you have questions on the chat, go ahead and put them down, and I'll answer them here in a bit. Also, another thing to look at is that I actually ran across in a unorthodox way on something else I do, and that is I do 3D graphics. I make video games. which is, I think, is like loads of fun. And this is Godot. If you haven't heard of Godot, check it out. It's really a fantastic project. It's open source. It's free. They don't charge you for jack. And it's a pretty good program. And yeah, you can make little video games for your kid or whatever, for their phone or just as a hobby. It's fun. Okay, this is a fun thing. Wonderful documentation too. But anyway, what really got my eye was this Engine Coin. And so I'm thinking, oh crap, that's like really cool, because Godot is becoming like, I mean, it's a wonderful application out there. It's getting on par with, like, you know, it has a ways to go, but it's catching up to Unity and Unreal Engine, which are other game engines that, you know, video games are made from. And so I saw Engine Coin. I was like, oh, I have to go take a look at Engine Coin. And lo and behold, hey, look at their chart. So this is on the 1 hour. And I'm thinking, all right, I got to look into these guys. So look into Engine Coin. They're supporting the Godot project, which is like a big plus for me. I found that really exciting. So hats off to Engine Coin. And thank you for supporting Godot. All right, so other things that are interesting. Now here is one on EOS that I rarely talk about. EOS. And the thing is just taking a dump. I mean, they had their mainnet thing and they took a dump. But you really got to take a look at EOS. What did they say they were going to do? They said that they were going to make software. Okay? And so did they make their software? Yes. Did they promise anything else? No. Did they promise a mainnet? No. They said they're going to make software and release it, and that was like it. They're going to leave the mainnet up to the community. And so, you know, you hear a lot of FUD and all this stuff about EOS. But you know what? They did what they said they were going to do. You can look at this huge spike. They gave you a tremendous opportunity to make some serious bank if you timed it right and stuff. And they delivered. Now, you know, whether the stuff works or not on the mainnet, it doesn't matter. They delivered. They are basically done with their project, and so hats off to them. And so for their project of going up and fulfilling what they actually said they were going to do, I give them a 10 out of 10. And that is a hats off. And their mainnet stuff, that's up to the community. So right now, I really no longer have any interest in EOS. They're done. And so what is the next thing that I'm looking for? Well, I'm looking for Steam 2.0. And so we'll see how Steam 2.0 goes. Yeah. So EOS, congrats to everyone that got in and made bank on this. And as you can see, well, anyway, best of luck to everyone that's still in it and is still a very popular coin. I am just no longer going to talk about EOS. Anyway, but, you know, congrats to EOS. Really good job, guys. For real. I'm not being facetious or anything. So there's a whole bunch of reasons on why I'm just like really uber bullish on things. And Bitcoin, I think it's close to the bottom. I don't think it's going to drop below 100 billion because of the futures. And so we'll see if that's the case or not. That's just my own opinion and thoughts. And so this brings me to another thing, because I was talking about VeChain. And I'm looking here at Binance, which is an exchange. So what do we have going on with exchanges? Let me just bring up GIMP here and stuff. Exchanges for the future. Yeah, it's a new GIMP 2.0. GIMP is free of charge, by the way. Really cool program. Runs on multiple platforms. Mac, Linux, Windows. Let me just do a file new here. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, easy peasy, right? Anyway, let me get my little drawing pen here. Okay, so what do we have going on with exchanges? Well, let me change the color there. Okay, fine. Okay, the most popular exchange right now is Binance, without a doubt, right? It's Binance. And what do we have coming up in the pretty near future? We have Circle, right, with their Poloniex thing coming up. And so that is going to be a big competitor to Binance. Big competitor to Binance. And so I'm actually seeing this guy, because of the institutional investors. Let's call Binance number 3, okay? I actually see Poloniex Circle thingy being the number 2 exchange. So that leaves, okay, what's the number 1 exchange? OceanX, OCX. And that is a VEN, basically a VEN, or actually VET. It will be VET, okay? Let me see if I can kill that. But VET, VeChain. Basically a VeChain integrated an exchange. It's going to be in the US. It's going to be, I think the servers are going to be out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, as I recall. And they are going to be catering not only to retail people like you and me, but also the institutional investors, which is quite interesting. So they are going to be in direct competition with Circle and Poloniex, not so much Binance. Binance I kind of see as just kind of going down over time. We'll see. It's going to be these two, with OCX being number 1. And OCX is going to be launched sometime this year, by the end of the year. So we'll see. Best of luck to them. This is going to be huge in my opinion. And another important thing is that there's going to be VET trading pairs for everything on there. And what is this going to do? This is basically going to help separate VET from BTC. And when we go over and we look at good old CoinMarketCap, and we see everything follows Bitcoin, it goes up or down or whatever, this is going to help separate that. So VET is actually going to be pretty much riding on its own with what I think will be the number 1 exchange by volume in the world. And check out OceanX, okay? OceanX is from BitOcean, which are partners with VeChain. Check them out. And in the future, what is going on is that I actually think that this model, well, let me go ahead and clear all this, okay? This is some remote viewing stuff, and a lot of this stuff is from information from remote viewing. Okay, so let me get back to my little pen. Okay, so we have OceanX, okay? And then we have the VeChain partnership. Okay, so what else is coming on? This is, I think, a prototype, or is going to be a test bed for another very, very large exchange. Namely, what are they going to call it? What shall we think? Let's give it a name, because it doesn't have a name yet. I like this name. Hey guys, if you use this name, please send me some VeChain, okay? Chinex. The People's Exchange of China, okay? Whatever you want to call it, you know, Chinex. That's I'm just calling it that. I have no idea. But I like that name. That seems to fit. It seems to resonate, okay? But anyway, Chinex, okay? So what does the exchange, the official People's Exchange for China for cryptos, I think will be basically based on this type of I think it'll be based on this. That's going to be happening in the US, okay? And they're going to need one more thing. And that is going to be some type of identification. Okay, they're going to need ID. And this has to be the type of ID that China needs, is something that is irrefutable. In other words, hey, it is definitely you. It is not going to be your Facebook ID. It's not going to be something where you can type it in. It has to be backed by government sources, okay? Irrefutable. So think of this ID being tied into, like here in the U.S., you have the Department of Motor Vehicles, and then you have your like passport information and a whole bunch of information. And so when you say it's you, it's going to be cross-referenced with those different government entities. And keep in mind, this is just for China right now, okay? So the ID that they're going to be used will need to be irrefutable, because they want to know who is investing into cryptocurrencies. And there is only one crypto I know of at this time that can actually facilitate that, and that is the key, which is TKY. And so what I'm seeing is a big triangle here. You have the TKY that could be tied into perhaps VVID, because they have their VChain ID thing. But that's not going to be big enough for Chinex. And so they're going to be using the key to provide this lookup service to say, hey, this is who it is. And then OceanX, BitOcean, they're going to be doing an exchange for China. And this is not documented anywhere. This is purely out of the ether, okay? No one has said anything about this. But that's where I think the key is going. And you might have noticed in the actually today, was it today? If we go and look at our pal Neo. So let's go find Neo. Where is Neo anyway? Where is Neo? Come on, Neo. You used to be way up. There you are. Number 12. Sucking wind, down 6.7%. Okay, Neo on their social. Everything's sucking wind right now, okay? I'm not just picking on them. They have their 3.0 thing coming out here, where they're going to be looking at, basically it's a rewrite of their platform, where they're looking at higher transactions per second and stability. They're also offering a couple other things, bug fixes, protocols, better smart contract support, native contracts, and so on and so forth. What they're basically doing is that they're doing a full rewrite to basically facilitate being able to handle a large amount of volume in a secure manner. And the key is Neo based. So under here you have Neo. Okay? Good old Neo. So I see good things for Neo, and that is because of the key. The key is driving Neo. That's how I see it. Not Neo's driving the key is driving Neo. Because keep in mind, the key, if you read their white paper, they said that this identification verification, that it is a matter of national security. They put that in like 3 times in their white paper. A matter of national security and social stability. Please check out the key. And give me your thoughts on what do you think all this is going. And I'm talking 2-3 years down the line, okay? Right now the key's like a penny. I mean, it's like sucking wind big time. But give me your thoughts on the key, and I think that this exchange is why Neo is suddenly under a whole lot of pressure to upgrade their systems so it can handle the key. That's what I think. But anyway, so that's enough for now. Let me go look at your chat, see if there's anybody here. We'll see. It's kind of late. I usually am up late because I do stuff when Asia is doing their thing. Anyway, Ellie Brown says, hey, dude. Like, hey, Ellie. Hey, how's it going? And peace, everyone. Yep, peace. And then Frey says, did you get a chance to check out T-Food? Yeah, I did check out T-Food. So let's go take a quick look at T-Food. And T-E food. Oh, come on. I know I checked them out before. Okay, I can't type. No reason. Okay, where is T-Food? I know T-Food is here. Why isn't that bringing it up? Let's go check them out. Okay, so the information I got basically when I was doing a viewing on T-Food is that there's more room in the market for other players other than just VeChain and other than just Ambrosis. And so T-Food is concentrating on the agriculture section. So you're looking at corn and stuff like that, and lettuce, and you know, you name it. But they're going to need a lot of transactions capacity, which they say they can handle 400,000 right here, and they're going to be you know, farm to table traceability solution. And this is a big deal. I used to program databases that did exactly that, so we could trace products from the farm all the way to the end user. So from the farm to the cold houses to the restaurants and schools and stuff like that. So there is definitely a place and a need for food traceability, because at the time when I was working in that industry, we had a huge recall on what was it, spinach, where there was like an E. coli breakout, and so we had to go back and actually find where that came from. And so I remember I was writing up the SQL queries to find it out. Anyway, T-Food can make that process pretty, you know, a lot easier. And so I was looking at them, and so yeah, there's a future for T-Food to fill. And then I think it's on KuCoin, if I believe. I was looking at, let's go here to markets. And I was looking at them so we can see where they're at. I think this is them. Wham. Nice chart here, guys. It's looking like a nice chart. And so we'll see what happens with them. And best of luck. I think they're new, so we'll see what happens with them. They're very new. This is on the 8-hour chart. But you know what? That looks like a nice chart. But then it looks remarkably similar to another chart. So take caution. It looked remarkably similar to Zilliqa. Wham. Love Zilliqa. Bullish on Zilliqa. So, I mean, you're going to have this and you're going to have that. So just, you know, that's how the market works. It goes up and it goes down. And it is on KuCoin right now, and so it's going up, and it's looking pretty good so far as I can see, and it's having some decent volume. Let's go look at the 1 hour here to check out its volume. And yeah, that's not too bad. So, you know, you have some nice strong buys here and stuff. But there is there's definitely a marketplace for T-Food in the future. There's room for it, and best of luck to them. I'm really not getting a lot of huge negative things from what I could find out about them, especially energetically. But you know, take that as you will. I mean, energetically, come on, you're gonna base something on energy readings. Get real. Follow your own energy, okay? Follow your own energy. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, check out T-Food, guys. Do your own research. It's an interesting project, and I've actually worked in this field, and ton of, you know, they have customers, which is really great. Customers are important. real world application stuff here going on. So check them out. Will it make you a millionaire? I don't know, but definitely do your research on it. So let's put it this way, I like T-Food a lot more than I do a heck of a lot of other coins, because there's just a lot of junk out there. Anyway, pretty much if there aren't any further questions, I'm going to go ahead and check out. Best of luck to everyone, and let me just get back and let's see if there's any other questions. There are. Okay. I wonder what will be the American version of TKY. The American version of TKY is going to be TKY. Yeah. The American version of the key is going to be the key. The key will come to America. They're already looking at, I believe that they've already visited some places in the U.S., and also Australia is expressing interest in something with the key, and so we'll see. Very interesting thing. So the key right now, you're not getting hardly any information out of the key, because they don't have time to post stuff. Basically, they are so busy, and the Chinese government needs this identification stuff big time. So they're putting their social. Well, let's go back and look at the key, because you guys should really check out the key, I think. If we go back to and right now the key's price, they're sucking wind. They've gone up and gone down, but it just is what it is right now, this current time. But for the key, let's go bring them up. Coin market cap. What is up with your search? TKY. There it is. Okay, so if you go under their social and stuff, and you can read their tweets, and okay, just published blah 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 blah, but where it was. Summary of the key questions. Go ahead and read that, because they're asking about Australia and this and that. It's a really good AMA. Highly suggest you read it. It's a real good one. Also, this one, historical breakthrough. This is some big news for the key. Being the first ever to use blockchain technology to improve lives and the magnitude of populations in social insurance. So think of this. Think of, okay, fine. So they are doing the social insurance. 1.4 billion, I believe, is the number that they're sticking out here of what they're going to be handling. Also keep in mind that the key is not going to have a coin burn, that they're going to reuse their tokens, okay? But supply and demand, they'll get reused, and there'll be more demand, they'll drive up the price and so on and so forth. Anyway, that's in the AMA, check that out. But I mean, you have their BDMI, their blockchain-based dynamic and multi-dimension identification, really important. This is a big thing, because this is talking about well, let me just say that this is a real important thing to read it. If you'll read it, you'll get real jazzed on the China's Social Insurance Association. They've entered into a cooperative agreement on research into blockchain applications. That's a big deal. That is a huge deal, and it is for basically the world's largest insurance entity. There you go. Think of, how would you put this? Well, let's say like the welfare system, okay? Let's say everybody on welfare had the key. Boom. What a wonderful, I'm being facetious, but that would be a real world use case for it, okay? Identification. But basically the same thing in China, okay? They're doing their social insurance stuff here. Big deal for China, because it's an area where they need it, and that is the key. Highly suggest you go to their Reddit and you read this Medium article. Very interesting. You read that one, and you read the AMA, the most recent AMA, and yeah, you'll get you'll get stoked. I mean, you'll say, oh my gosh, the key's that big, how come we don't hear about it? And it's because they have their nose to the grind, and they are really trying to push this thing and make it happen. Yeah, huge, huge, huge. Yeah, TFD, I found it. Thanks, William. Good old T food. Checking them out on KuCoin. That's where I like KuCoin. I like KuCoin and Binance. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Hey, Kingslayer, hello to you. And yeah, T-Food on Binance would be nice. Yes, it would. The key on Binance would be nice, too. Lots of things on Binance would be nice. Hopefully, it will get there. By the looks of T-Food and the type of project it is, I see no reason why we can't expect that in the future, but we'll see. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Not with Trump's trade tariffs, TKY won't be implemented in the States, but we're years out. Who knows? As far as it being implemented in the States, they've already visited the States, so we'll see if it's implemented. But whether or not it gets put in under Trump's regime or not, that is, it is kind of up in the air because of the type of tracking that TKY can do. Basically, you're not going to be able to get away. Okay, with the key, you're not going to be able to get away. China wants and needs that. The U.S., tell me your opinions on that. But, because that is like big time Big Brother. So I'm not sure how well that will fly. Couldn't Stellar be its top exchange? Absolutely. Stellar could be, and I see it as being the top DEX. Decentralized exchange. Binance, nice try for Binance, when it comes out with their decentralized exchange. Bancor, they just got hacked. Them being hacked, wow, how much does that say about them really being decentralized? Not much. Basically proves that they're not decentralized. Stellar, I am super bullish on Stellar because of their exchange, because it is decentralized. Two, because of the work that they're doing in like Africa and third world countries of actually trying to get these people banked and to use the product. You have IBM. IBM also said that I believe that they're going to have a central bank on the Stellar platform by the end of the year. Please correct me on that if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to recall this from my head. But, I am super bullish on Stellar. It's one of my largest holdings. I like it. For you guys that haven't checked out Stellar, check them out. Also, that's interesting is that the amount of FUD against Ripple. Now, I do hold Ripple, but a far, far less extent of Ripple. But Ripple's interesting as well. They both stem from the basically the same seed. Stellar is more, I think, they're both good projects, but I prefer Stellar a lot because of its exchange and what that could be in the future. We will see. Also, you're saying seems like XLM could be similar to VET. They're in a way where they're trying to make contracts where it can be a platform. And they have Mobius, which looks pretty cool. So if you haven't checked out Mobius, check them out. Really interesting. Really interesting. I am a Stellar fan. That's all I can say. It is one of the coins that I think is like the real deal out there. That is just my opinion, of course. And I'll give you a quick rundown of the coins that I think are real deal. And that is, Stellar. It is Stellar. Plus, if you really love Stellar and you want to support them, and you need a tax write-off, think of donating to their organization. It's an org, and you can get a charitable donation. That could help them out in other ways, because what they're doing is really has significance around the world. Ripple, they're with the banks and stuff, and so that could be significant as well. They're going through a lot of FUD, which I think is interesting because of the well, basically it means that a lot of people are scared of them, that people are getting frightened, mainly the banks are, and XRP is definitely over the target. That's when they're getting the flack. Also, you have the Western Union that basically just dropped Stellar. They did 10 transactions. You know, it was just a big farce, I think, for Western Union. It was just that whole know thy enemy thing. And because Stellar, you have Ripple and Stellar that are, come on, guys. They're going to put Western Union and MoneyGram and all those types of services out of business, okay? They're done. Ripple's going to help out the banks. Stellar's going to help out the people. But there's also going to be banks involved because they have these anchors. And so they're going to need some type of way to go from a coin, maybe swap the coin between currencies, because it might, one coin, or actually one currency, might not be halal or whatever, kosher, with somebody else, and so they don't want to do that. So they want to have some type of neutral trading mechanism. So they go into Stellar Lumens, and then it gets swapped out for the other currency, and which is really cool, and it does the automatic swapping. Stellar has the built-in exchange. Really, really cool and interesting. Take a hard look at Stellar. It's really cool. I really like it. So yeah, could it be similar to VET? To an extent, it will be, but it's mainly going to be concentrating, as far as I can see, in the currency exchange sector, where VeChain is going out to a much broader business based. So you're going to have Stellar that could be, okay, fine, here's the actual money transfer pretty much between countries, and from people, so remittances and stuff between people. Ripple do that for the banks, and then VeChain Thor will basically be the blockchain for enterprises, for businesses, okay, for real world businesses. That's going to be VeChain, and that's how I see it. Do I see that as competing with Stellar? No, they're kind of in different markets. There are some similarities, you bet, but they're both platforms. People don't know, I guess people don't know that Stellar is a platform. Maybe they do. Interesting. Platforms are interesting. XLM, very interesting product. Are some similarities with VeChain Thor, but I think they're competing in different markets, and that's my take on it. You have a different opinion, go ahead, or different views, different information, put them down, this is a discussion. We like to have discussions. That's what this is all about, because there are really, truly exciting times coming. Really, like VeChain Thor, it's dumped to like $2 something, and it hasn't even started, okay? It hasn't even started. It's not over. It hasn't even started. Very interesting. Okay, let's see. What does Frey have to say? Kingslayer, I do see. Okay, big things for Stellar. Looking forward to their exchange, and okay, any announcements with IBM? Yeah, me too. And let's see. Here's another comment on the key. The dudes in Silicon Valley want to create something similar to the key for the U.S. Yeah, it'll either be something similar or it will be. Interesting stuff. And so we'll just see where that goes. Do they want something similar to the key? Oh yeah. I've already seen, it was about a month or two ago, I saw some YouTube commercial where this lady was talking about how they could use it for a type of social scoring mechanism, and this was for the US, and they had like a real likely it was a real good thing, that it would help prevent racism and all this, that kind of slant. But it was somewhat disturbing to me because it was so Big Brother-ish. I was very, very surprised to actually see that type of commercial on YouTube geared towards the U.S. In China, hey, it's a given. They have a lot of people and they have a different political needs and stuff like that, and they are who they are. Okay, they're different than the U.S. and so they have different requirements. But to see that in the U.S., it's like, oh man, it kind of rubbed me wrong. But yeah, there's some type of energy there where people are wanting hardcore identification. Like I said, I mean, it could be integrated into like the welfare system and so forth. So we'll see. Let's see. Did you do more research? Yeah, you can do more research on it. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, does it have a future? I don't know. I'm not getting a warm and fuzzy from Digibyte, and that's just me. But you guys certainly do your own research on Digibyte or any other thing that's out there that you think is going to go. Do your research. Check out your own vibration. Does it resonate with you and stuff like that? Don't listen to me. This is, I've been wrong before. I am not ashamed to admit that. And if I only had a nickel for every time I've been wrong, my gosh, I could buy all the VeChain that I want. Also self-key. Yeah, for like self-key, be careful with that. It bumped, and it's not, the thing is with, it was an amazing bump, and congratulations to all those who had self-key, huge bump. But keep in mind that was a one-time deal. What if you closed your eyes and woke up 3 years from now? Where do you think self-key would be? And so ask yourself that question. Is it irrefutable and undeniable? Is it 100% valid? In other words, can it be held up in court? Can you be taken to jail because of it? That's what the key will be. It'll be like DNA, basically. The key, I mean, it's going to go off of biometric data. Self-key, not quite so sure it's going to be to that extent. So definitely do research on that. Let me know what you find out. But I don't think it's going to be along the lines of being irrefutable. Will it be it's definitely an ID type of thing? Yeah, but irrefutable? Not quite sure. And so we'll see how that goes. But definitely huge pump, and congratulations. And it is also in a very interesting field of this identification thing that we have going on here. Now, where I could see an application for self-key would be like Facebook. You know how you have your Facebook login and you can use that on multiple different sites? I could definitely see self-key having a use case for that, and I would be far more open to to accepting self-key into my life or something like that than I would be for something more Big Brother-ish. And if you've known somebody where their Facebook account got hacked or whatever, how could self-key help there? Interesting stuff. Frey says, pump was so good, I got out. Congrats. So you got in and you got out and you got the pump, and that is awesome. And so, yeah, I'm glad you got out, and check them out. Please keep in mind that I am in this long term. I don't sell coins for the most part. I accumulate, and I don't sell. I am a hodler, and that's how I am. So I really don't look at things for short-term gains. I am a hodler, and like I said before, this is an accumulation area for Bitcoin. So I don't care. I mean, look at this trend line going on here. You know, what do you think it's going to do? You think I'm worried about a few $1,000 dump? No, if I liked it at 60 at this level here, I like it even better here. You know, that's how I am. I get excited when things go down because yeah, because in my opinion, in the long term, it's going up. And I'm fortunate where I can, let's put it this way, I'm not putting all of my money into crypto. I'm putting into amount that I can afford to lose. And so I'm not trying to chase Lambos because I need it for rent or groceries or feed the baby or stuff like that. So it's not stress, but it's a long-term thing for me. But I look at these short-term things just basically for entertainment and as a way to hone my skills on what sections of the energy to look at, because this is another cool thing here on why I'm so pumped is because on why this one missed is because now I can say, okay, I can totally disregard the energy coming from the general population because they have no control of the market anymore. It's the CO, the composite operators. Now, that's going to change a bit in the future when the ETFs come in. But for right now, I don't have to bother with all the energy stuff. The zeitgeist is what I'm talking about from the general population as far as their ability to affect the market. All those people are gone. Will they come back in the future? Yeah, but they're not here right now. It's very few of us. It's mainly bots trading, and you guys can tell that. And so that's interesting times. Okay, guys, well, I am going to wrap this up, and please let me know your comments on this. Do you think this is a possibility? Good old Chinex, the People's Crypto Exchange of China. So we'll see. I just made that name up, of course. So we'll see. And that's where I think the key is going to be, and Neo and all this. So that's, I'm also bullish on Neo because of this. But give me your opinions on this. I'll look forward to it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. And you guys are like the best. You guys are like the best. So take it easy. I am checking out, and have a wonderful day. Bye.